And we will start with Brian Sandalo from the Chicago Sun-Times.
Cool. Thank you very much, E, and thank you very much, Ezra, for making some time today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hope all is well with you. And just wondering first, what's the status of Federico Navarro, Chris Mueller, and Jairo Torres, and what's their current timeline for return?
Chris will be back this weekend. Unfortunately, we will be without Jairo and Fede this weekend. As far as their timeline, I'm not sure yet, but it's going to be at least a couple of weeks.
What exactly was the issue with both Fede and Jairo?
Hamstring.
Okay. All right. So then just, those are soft tissue injuries in week one. Is that a concern to you that guys are already suffering those injuries this early into the season?
Yeah, but, it's injuries, they happen. Unfortunately, it's part of the game. We just have to deal with it. The key is return to play. How short that time is very important. So we just have to be able to deal with those injuries, and I think we have the right high performance department to make sure that these guys get back in a timely fashion and not be out for too long.
Thank you. Next, we will go to Alex Calabrese from Men in Red 97.
Hey, Ezra. Hope you're doing well today. Good afternoon. My question for you is looking at the midfield, both starters from week one out for the next game. Gaston Jimenez, not 100% fit. Would you have any hesitation to put in a younger player like Sergio Odehel, who hasn't played a lot, or would you lean on experience for a road game like this?
Well, we've maintained that it's going to be a competitive situation at all positions this year. So we have, a short time, 2-3 days to determine who's going to step in and play. And it's just going to be based on how guys have been training and how they do the next couple of days. We're going to have to tweak some things, but, it's the difference between this team and the team last year is that we have a lot of different options that we can do. Last year we were lacking that at times. Once we took injuries, it was very difficult to shift in any way, shape, or form. But I think we have enough depth now. Some guys who have gotten some experience over the past year that can step in and play. As far as who that's going to be, that's still yet to be determined.
Thank you. Next, we will go to Joe Chats from On Tap Sportsnet.
Hi, Ezra. Thanks, E. Hope everyone's well. Given that Philadelphia played out of the country last night, has that changed anything in the approach to the weekend, knowing that they're going to be on a short week and you guys get the full week to review going into another week after the extra week we'd had going into week one?
Not at all. If you look at the game last night, they rested a lot of people. I think they only started 3 starters from who started the weekend before in Miami. So they can be relatively fresh. Yes, they had some traveling to do, but they're at home. They've done really well at home the past few years. So we expect nothing less than what they've been about these past few years on the gym. So we're not going to go in there, taking them lightly. Assuming that they're fatigued by any means. We're going to go out there with our strongest squad and try to bring home some points. Hopefully all 3.
Thank you. Next, we'll go to Hernan Espinosa from La Fiera Deportiva.
Good afternoon, Ezra. Thank you for taking time for us. Yes, my question is about the atmosphere in the home opening. Were you expecting this kind of people to show up? And what can you say about the next game also with Philadelphia Union, that a team that you already probably encountered last year, and you know how they play and how they attack too? Thank you.
Yes, Philly, they're a very good team. I mean, a lot of the experts are picking them to be MLS Cup champions this year, if not, up there. So it's not a team to be taken lightly. Like I said, they've been very good at home over the past few years. So it's going to be a big task for us, but we are prepared and we're going to be ready. We're a little deflated, having lost Fede and Jairo, but like I said, I think we have the depth to fill in at those positions. as far as last weekend and our fans, we expect that from our fans. We have really, really good fans. Sometimes we've let them down, but, having them there on Saturday and listen to the crowd, even though it wasn't, 30,000 people, it felt like it because the crowd was so loud. It was really into it. The game was, back and forth, end to end. So I'm sure that got the fans energized also. And we, the players, they feed off that. So it's always good to play at home because, our fans are always, there to support us. So that was great to see.
Thank you. Next, we'll go back to Brian.
Sure. Thanks, E. Yeah, that sequence in the 23rd minute where Shabilko picked up the ball and I ended up shooting wide, you could see that Mueller on the left is running hard to support him. Gutierrez running hard on the right to support him, but Shaqiri was walking. What was your reaction to seeing Shaqiri walking and not supporting on that play?
Well, I think, it's not walking while we're defending. It's a difference between what transpired then. Casper is going to goal. I imagine Shaq thinks, he's going in on goal and, he's got two guys supporting him already. Maybe he thought that, he was going to go to goal and put it in the back of the net. I can't really speak for Shaq on that. Had that been a situation where we had lost the ball and they were counterattacking us and he was walking, I can see people having gripes about that. But, I think everyone kind of relaxed. Maybe except for Chris and Guti, thinking, okay, here's our first goal of the season. Here's the first goal of the match. So I didn't read much into that as some people are doing.
Sorry, Brian, did you have another question? I just muted because there was some extra noise.
Yes, actually. Would you like to see Shaqiri running on that play and to provide a little bit of extra support?
Well, yeah, definitely. But, Casper is, 10, 15 yards ahead of him. I don't know how much of support he could provide there. And also, we don't want Casper to be looking backwards. They want him to go to the goal. And, our wingers, in this instance, Guti and Chris, following up. So I'm not going to really dwell too much on that. I think if you look at the physical loading from our GPS and stuff, you'll see that Shaq put in a good effort on Saturday night. So I can't just take one isolated incident and really be mad about that. That was just one isolated incident. If you look at the rest of the game, you'll see he did a lot of tracking back. He did a lot of pressing, and he was up for it on Saturday night. So that's not something I want to really dwell on or read into at all.
Thank you. We'll go next with Alex Calabrese.
Thank you again, E. Ezra, after the last game, in the post-match press conference, you said that Chris Brady was ahead of the competition as far as being the starter. Obviously, he wasn't able to play due to that thigh tweak. Would you say that he's still the favorite given that he's back in training to start this weekend, or is that a decision that's yet to be made?
Chris will be in a goal this weekend, barring any setbacks these next couple of days. Chris will be in a goal. I don't want to give away too many secrets to Philly, but I do want to answer your questions that you guys have as honestly as I can answer it. So, yes, we expect Chris to be in the goal this weekend.
Thank you. We'll go two more questions. Hernan Espinosa and then Brian Tandalo. Hernan?
Yes, Ezra, for the couple of months, I heard for the Chicago Fire looking for a forward position. And, there were some rumors that you were close to sign some good players, and it didn't come through. Is the club waiting, still scouting? They're waiting for the summer to get a big name, the forward position? Or they're taking the time and considering a few options? Thank you.
Yeah, it's an ongoing process for us. We had a couple guys that were really, really close, almost over the line, but it fell through, which happens in this business. But we're trying to still add, we have, I'm going to mess his name up again, but Yorgos coming in, hopefully within the next week to 10 days here. But we're still trying to add someone else. But that's someone that we want to add before the summer break, actually. The MLS window is still open for a little bit longer, so we still have some time to add someone, and that's ongoing stuff. We're still working on trying to, make the team better and get more competition in here at several different positions.
Thank you. Brian, last question.
Sure. I was just going to call him George, but I get
George is fine. I think it's safer that way.
That could be good too. A couple of weeks ago, we asked you about the playoff format and what you wanted to see from it and everything. But now that it's out, it was announced a little bit while ago. What do you think of the new format with 9 teams and the play-in and then the best of 3, I guess, in the first round?
Well, I think, it's a game that's growing, and the fans want to see a lot of games. And I think this gives them opportunity to see a couple more games. It also gives a team, a lot of times when you take just 7 teams, you have a team maybe miss the playoff by 1 point or 2 points. I think it gives room for a couple more teams to play themselves into the playoffs. So I don't mind it at all. With the Open Cup and Champion and League Cup and all that stuff, could add some games, could get leggy for some players, but I think from the fan standpoint, they're going to love it. I think it's going to be really great to see, maybe a 9th place team play a 7th place team, or how it's working to get into the playoffs, and then once they get there, a 3-game series with, let's say, the number 1 seed. Which could be very exciting, because I think when you just have just 1 game, it doesn't give the bottom team a chance, because in MLS, I'm not sure about the actual stats, but I'm sure most teams win their home games than they lose. So I think this way it gives both teams an opportunity to get a win, and then if it comes to a 3rd game, then it could be decided on the higher seeds home field. But it's for the fans, I think. That's why the MLS is doing it. The fans want to see more soccer, and it gives them opportunity to see more soccer.
Great. Thank you so much, Coach. We really appreciate your time.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks, Ezra. Talk to you Saturday.
All right. See you guys.